In Joshua chapter 17, the Israelites, back in the Old Testament, they're divvying up the promised land among all the tribes of Israel. And it tells us some of the areas that are given to each tribe, the areas of the promised land. And this is what it says in verse 11 of chapter 17 about Manasseh, the tribe of Manasseh. It says, Manasseh had, these are different area names, Bethshan, Ibleam, Dor, Endor, Ta'anak, Megiddo. Manasseh had all those different areas. It had all those as the inheritance. You know what's interesting about that? It tells us in the next verses, it says, yet the Manassites were not able to occupy these towns. They were bigger cities, they were heavily fortified, and they fought back, and they weren't able to occupy them, they weren't able to enjoy them, they weren't able to work the soil and have the homes and all those types of things. That will come eventually. It didn't happen right then, and yet in verse 11, it talks about them as if they already belonged to them. Because God, of course, knew that one day they would. He talked about the future reality as if it was a reality in the present. Even though they couldn't hold on to them at the moment, they were still theirs. I bet you have people like that. Like people you can't hold on to in the moment. People you miss. People you used to be able to just give a hug to whenever you wanted. People you could just have a conversation with. People you could just do nothing with. But you were together. And now you're not. Maybe because they live far away from you now, or you live far away from them. Maybe because you had to say goodbye. Like your final earthly goodbye to them. You can't hold them, you can't touch them, you can't hear their voice. And you miss them. But they still belong to you. They are still yours. That's how the Bible talks about what Jesus did for all of us, bringing us all into God's family, giving us a place to look forward to where we will be together with Jesus, surrounding the throne, the one who made that happen. At such a great cost. When he had to be separated from someone he loved and who loved him, from his own Father on the cross. To make us everything we needed to be welcomed into eternity. Where you will be there with your own body. And your loved ones in faith, or who have died in faith. They will be too. And you know what that means? You'll be able to hold their hand again. Or give them a hug. Or just smile at them. Or see them smiling at you. You might not be close to them now, proximity-wise. But they still belong to you. That's how God looks at it. He looks at the big picture. He looks at the final victory. And you have the right to look at that too. You're still together, even if you're not. But one day, we will be. We will be. And then, we never won't be. We belong to one another because we are in the family of God. Rest well tonight, my friends.